Today's horoscope, Aquarius September 9th, 2024. Discover your future with my daily horoscope for you about love, work, health, money and compatibility with other signs. Today's moon highlights your long-term goals. While it's a good time to consider where you are heading and where you stand, today's transits emphasize shifting moods and ideas. It's not always straightforward to focus today. As much as you'd like clear answers and definitions, you may need to settle for limbo just for now. People can be beating around the bush and pushing boundaries the next minute. Perceptions are blurry for now. Backing off from a problem can help let your intuition click in, leading to a better solution if you are patient enough to wait. Fortunately, it's a good time to find the motivation to work hard at projects that have been on the back burner or to get moving on a health or self-care program. While astrology watches the luminaries and planets for the most prominent shifts within our lives, the asteroids also grant us subtle information, too. Pallas, the asteroid of wisdom and courage, has now soared into the kingdoms of Sagittarius. This will bring a nuanced trend to your heart, emotions, and life. You will now be encouraged to embrace further self-expression, idealism, learning, and discovery. Travel could enrich you to your core because of this. Allow this energy to enrich your life, journey, and relationships. You could unlock whole new horizons now and in the time to come. Is there a long-term financial goal that you want to accomplish? Consider what you want to work toward, as the Sun in Virgo opposes Saturn retrograde in Pisces. You could have a desire to improve your credit score, pay off debt, or save a certain amount of money. As you consider your financial goals, you will need to make some adjustments to your spending and savings. Your financial habits should be somewhat refined, so that you can work toward your goals. Being financially responsible may not be easy, but it will be worthwhile. Satisfying your natural urges is just what the doctor ordered this week. That's right, you are in charge of this. Try to focus on what you really want and then on giving it to yourself. Whether it's a walk by the beach to think over personal matters or a frank chat with your boss, there are certain things that only you can provide. You sometimes sink into the habit of thinking that what you want most deeply is something or some emotion only others can give you. Wake up from this coma and begin nurturing yourself. Today's vibrations are going to allow you to finally harvest the fruits of your labor. If you weren't so modest and discreet, you could benefit from a promotion or an encounter in your sentimental life. But your temperament makes you keep a low profile even in the most favorable situations. Apart from a small amount of anxiety at the beginning of the day, you are in great shape and your kindness won't miss touching more than one of the people you collaborate with. Keep up the rhythm. Mercury, the planet of communication, has reached his final full day in your relationship sector with his tasks thoroughly completed. Originally arriving 2 months ago for what is typically a 14 to 15 day period to open the lines of communication, Mercury's timing has been impeccable during Pluto's concluding months in Aquarius. Throughout this year, every planet entering your relationship sector has encountered challenges from Pluto, testing the balance between personal and relational needs. With Pluto now gone, Mercury has spent recent days harmonizing with planets in your communication sector to ensure these channels remain open. At the same time that Jupiter is spending his first weekend on his own in your romantic sector after Mars left 3 days ago, Venus is separating from an alignment with the asteroid Juno, the queen of commitment in an adventurous part of your chart. With Venus and Jupiter, the planets of love and luck moving towards a friendly aspect later next week, having the moon in an adventurous part of your chart over the last few days has already seen the spirit of romance and adventure start to come together. This is set to become a lot more potent. Daily Planetary Overview. On a more personal level, today could stir up feelings of attraction and longing that are hard to ignore. You might find yourself desiring a deeper, more sensual connection in your relationships. It's completely natural to crave intimacy, to want to feel close to someone both physically and emotionally. These desires are part of our human experience. But if you're feeling indecisive, that longing can quickly turn into anxiety. Have you ever felt torn between your deepest desires and the fear of making the wrong choice? It's a tricky balance, and today, you might find yourself wrestling with those very emotions. If you've ever been caught in that push and pull of wanting something but being unsure of how to go about it, you're not alone. Today might bring those feelings to the surface, nudging you to confront them. It's okay to take your time with these Euro. There's no need to rush into decisions just because your emotions feel heightened. Have you noticed that when you give yourself a moment to pause and reflect, the right path often becomes clearer? One thing to watch for today is the temptation to overindulge as a way of coping with these intense emotions. Whether it's food, drink, or distractions like mindless scrolling, it's easy to turn to these comforts when you're feeling uncertain. But staying calm and resisting those impulses is your best bet for managing your feelings in a healthy way. If you find yourself reaching for that extra slice of cake or contemplating a purchase you don't really need, pause for a moment. Ask yourself if this is truly what will make you feel better in the long run. Often, what we need most is just a little space to breathe, a moment to reflect on what's really going on beneath the surface. Despite these emotional challenges, there's also a powerful sense of mental and physical strength running through you today. This is an ideal time to tackle those tough decisions you've been avoiding. Maybe there's been something weighing on your mind for a while, a choice you've been putting off because it feels overwhelming. Today, you have the clarity and courage to face it head on. Take your time to carefully consider all the details before coming to a conclusion, but once you've made your decision, trust yourself. Have you ever made a tough choice, and even though it was difficult, you felt a sense of relief afterward? That's the kind of energy you can tap into today. Once you've made up your mind, stand by it with confidence and avoid second-guessing yourself. On the professional front, your energy and courage are at an all-time high. You have everything you need to achieve your ambitions, but proceed with caution. It's easy to get sidetracked by intricate details that can seem interesting but ultimately distract you from your main goals. Have you ever been so focused on one small part of a project that you lost sight of the bigger picture? Today, try to approach things in a level-headed and sensible way. By concentrating on the most important tasks, you'll avoid unnecessary delays and reach a successful outcome more efficiently. Challenges may arise, but remember, not every difficult situation is as critical as it seems at first. When you're faced with what appears to be a crisis, take a deep breath and react calmly. Emotions can easily flare up in stressful moments, but if you allow yourself to stay grounded, you'll notice that most disturbances blow over without causing any real damage. Have you ever found that after taking a step back and giving yourself some space to breathe, what seemed like a major problem wasn't so overwhelming after all? Today is a reminder that you have the strength to handle whatever comes your way. Just stay calm and collected. As you go through the day, take a moment to check in with yourself. How are you feeling? How can you navigate today's twists and turns with grace? How can you balance your enthusiasm and dreams with a grounded, realistic approach? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. How do you handle unexpected surprises in your life? And what steps are you taking to turn your dreams into reality? Feel free to share in the comments. Today is full of opportunities, so embrace it with an open heart and a steady mind.